After I was reborn, I realized I could see everyone's net worth floating above their heads. My wife Lu Ruyan showed up just like in my past life, with her side guy in tow. Chin Chow, let's get a divorce. Zhao Gang's loaded. He can take way better care of our son than you. I looked up at the giant negative number floating over Zhao Gang's head and smiled. In my past life, Lu Ruyan did the exact same thing, showed up out of nowhere with Zhao Gang and demanded a divorce. I busted my ass supporting this family for over a decade. She never had to lift a finger, and I was the one raising our kid. She was in her 30s, but looked like she was in her 20s because I spoiled her rotten. Everyone around us was jealous of how good she had it. In my last life, I refused to sign the divorce papers for the sake of our son, Qin Baoqing. So she spread rumors that I was sleeping with her best friend. She got me fired, and I ended up delivering food just to survive. I never expected heaven to give me a second shot at life. Zhao Gang is a second-gen rich kid. You can't even compare, it's some small-town guy who scraped together one apartment. You killed yourself for one place, and he's sitting on a whole portfolio. He can give me and our son a much better life. Every word out of Lu Ruyan's mouth was straight out of my last life. Zhao Gang stood there with his arms crossed, looking down at me. Being reborn also came with a bonus ability. I could see a number above everyone's head representing their personal net worth. Lu Ruyan's number showed 8 million, her cut of our shared marital assets. Our place downtown was worth 17 million, so splitting it down the middle came out to roughly 8 million each. But Zhao Gang's number? Negative 20 million. Lu Ruyan had no idea she was getting played. Thinking back to how I begged and cried for her not to leave me last time, and how that all blew up in my face, I couldn't help but laugh. Fine, I'll sign. Both of them froze. Neither one expected me to agree that fast. Lu Ruyan snapped out of it and got mad. Qin Chow, what's your problem? You've been wanting out this whole time, haven't you? I immediately softened my tone and played the same weak, spineless act I did last time. But Ruyan, you're the one who asked for this. You said our son would have a better life if he stayed with you. If that's what it takes, I'll step aside. I just hope you'll still let me come see him when I miss him. Lu Ruyan saw how pitiful I was acting and let out a cold scoff. Smart move. Then it settled. I didn't miss the flash of excitement in Zhao Gang's eyes. Then came the asset split. And that's where things got messy. Lu Ruyan wanted me to walk away with nothing. Not even the apartment my parents worked their whole lives to leave me. Ruyan, that apartment is all my parents left me. How can you just cut me out without giving me a single cent? And Zhao Gang already owns multiple properties. Why would he even care about this one place? Mom, I'm sick of that apartment anyway. We don't have to take it. Just leave it for Qin Chow. That was Qin Baoqing speaking, the kid I raised for over a decade who wasn't even mine. I stared at his face, not a single feature like mine, and felt nothing but disgust where there used to be nothing but love. Thinking about what he did to me in my last life, I was pretty sure he'd known for a long time that I wasn't his real dad. A flash of hatred crossed my eyes. Zhao Gang was listening to the two of them go back and forth, and he was clearly getting antsy. Ruyan, no, and what's yours is yours. Don't let anyone else walk away with it. Lu Ruyan still insisted I leave with nothing. And just like last time, she pulled out a photoshopped explicit photo to threaten me. She said if I didn't agree, she'd go cause a scene at my workplace. I had no choice but to pretend to cave. Fine, we'll go sign tomorrow, I'll give you the apartment. The next day, I didn't even bother going to work. I went straight to the civil affairs office with Lu Ruyan to finalize the divorce. Just to cover my bases, I had her sign a post-marriage asset agreement confirming I'd walk away with nothing. Lu Ruyan and Zhao Gang turned right around and got married on the spot. The clerk at the window gave me the most sympathetic look. I just smirked. I glanced over at the two of them looking all giddy and walked away. The second I stepped out of that building, I found the nearest lottery shop. I pulled up the photo I'd taken the day before and bought every single number on it. Under the shop owner's "this guy's insane" stare, I left feeling pretty good about myself. A few days earlier, someone had walked past me, and I caught a glimpse of the number above their head. Then it hit me. The number was fluctuating wildly. I had a gut feeling something big was about to happen. I thought, what if they were about to win the lottery, because they just walked out of a lottery shop? I followed them to get a closer look. The first digits were clear, but the zeros at the end were blurry. Then I remembered, in my last life, just a few days after I quit my job, the lottery shop downstairs hit a massive jackpot. I held back my excitement, walked up, and tapped them on the shoulder to strike up a conversation. They eyed me with pure suspicion, which honestly made sense. I was looking a little rough at the time. I smiled and pointed at the ticket in their hand, asking if I could take a quick look. They thought I was weird, but since we were in public, they let me glance at it. I tried to memorize the numbers fast, but quickly realized I was overestimating my memory. I whipped out my phone and asked if I could snap a photo. They said yes, and that's exactly how we got here. Me walking back to my rental clutching those lottery tickets. The draw was tonight, and since I'd signed the divorce this morning and bought the tickets this afternoon. Even if I win, she gets zero. Every minute felt like forever. My palms were sweating, and I was a wreck waiting for the results. One second I was scared I'd misread the numbers. The next I was scared I'd bought the wrong ones. I must have compared the photo to the ticket a dozen times. And then somehow, in the middle of all that stress, I passed out. By the time I woke up, the draw was already over. I frantically opened the results page on my phone. Ticket in one hand, phone in the other. I checked number by number. The last one matched too. I rushed to check the prize pool. Single ticket payout? 40 million. I bought 10 tickets. My face went red, and I could barely contain myself. I wanted to scream, but I didn't want to wake the neighbors. I was up the entire night. First thing the next morning, I threw on a disguise and went to collect. The whole process went surprisingly smooth. I quietly collected the money and turned down every interview request. The moment the money hit my account, I swear the air smelled fresher than it ever had. Even the angry texts from my boss somehow didn't bother me anymore. I casually hailed a cab to the office, and my coworkers looked genuinely shocked to see me walk in. I'd been gone for days, and most of them figured I'd already been fired. A buddy of mine pulled me aside. "Hey, the boss is looking for you. You better brace yourself." I nodded and strolled into the office, and the second I walked through the door, he unloaded on me. I just stood there and took it until he finally spat out, "You don't even want this job anymore, do you?" The moment he ran out of steam, I dropped my resignation letter on his desk. "You're right, I quit." After leaving, I changed my contact info and only gave it to a few close friends. I bought a place in a high-end, private community right in the heart of the city. Cash. In just a matter of days, I went from being flat broke to a billionaire. I checked a resale property app. The apartment my parents left me had already been sold off a few days ago. Picturing how badly things were going to fall apart for Lu Ruyan, I couldn't hold back a grin. By now, Zhao Gang had probably already taken the money and bolted. That day, my buddy Li Yu hit me up for dinner. One look at my car and his jaw dropped. "Bro, looks like that divorce did you some good." Fine, let him think I got the apartment. The lottery win? That's staying between me and me. Li Yu then said, "Oh, by the way, your ex called me yesterday trying to get your number. She sounded pretty urgent." He took a sip of his drink and watched my face carefully. "No way I'd give it to her. You two splitting up was the best thing. I never liked the way she acted." "So what? Are you done with Bayo King too?" The second I heard that name, my whole expression went cold. "Don't bring him up again. Didn't you say you've got a friend who does private investigation? Hook me up." I got the PI's contact info from Li Yu. I had him look into Zhao Gang, everyone who made my last life a nightmare. I wasn't letting a single one of them off the hook. I figured changing my number would be enough to shake off Lu Ruyan and that little pest of a son. But somehow they still managed to track me down. I was just pulling into my complex when someone darted out in front of my car. I slammed on the brakes. "Hey, watch where you're going!" "Who do you think you're talking to, Chinchao? Open your eyes and look at who I am." I heard the voice and looked up. It was Lu Ruyan. Barely a month since we split and she already looked like a complete mess.